Hello, this is DerTebbers, and this is your Flight Simulator X Mod Spotlight. Welcome aboard what I think to be the real Queen of the Skies. Now, the 747 has the nickname Queen of the Skies, and she earned that nickname because she was supposed to be so luxurious. Really, what other aircraft out there even holds a candle to the Concorde? This aircraft first flight to March 1969, not this exact aircraft, but the model Concorde. She's powered by 4 Rolls-Royce SNE CMA Olympus 593 Mark 610 afterburning turbojets. Each engine produces 32,000 pounds of thrust until you light the afterburner. Then she produces 38,050 pounds of thrust out of each engine. I had the wonderful pleasure of walking into the hangar at Le Bonnier, where they have an Air France and one of the test aircraft. And you see it sitting there. I mean, even sitting here in the game. You look at it and you're like, there's no way that was produced in 1969. There's just no way. Then you get in the cockpit. You're like, oh yeah, there's every way that there's every way that was produced in 1969. Lots of buttons, lots of gauges. Okay, so something a little bit different. Now, usually on these mod spotlights, I take off, circle around, and land, or take off, circle around, and crash. More accurately, I actually have a flight plan loaded in. I have Heathrow, which is where we're at right now, to JFK. Speedbird 1. So we're going to go ahead and ask our flight engineer to start engines. Now, you do actually have to wait for each engine to come up. While those engines are coming up, max speed on this plane was Mach 2.04. Cruise speed was Mach 2.02. The interesting thing about this aircraft is it uses fuel pitch trim. So the fuel actually gets pumped around the aircraft to balance it out when it's in flight. Very interesting. Quite a detailed amount of work that has to go into doing this. Engine 2 is now coming online. When you could fly London to New York in 2 hours and 30 minutes versus, what is it today? I don't know what it is, London to New York. I know Denver to London today is something like 13 hours. I mean, we've gone backwards. Since 1969, we have gone backwards. Well, since 2000, when this aircraft was officially removed from service, we've gone backwards. Now, we all know of the accident that occurred at Charles de Gaulle, where the Air France Concorde hit a strip of metal that caused tire damage. The tire went up into the wing, hit the fuel. Fuel was ignited by the afterburners, and she burned and crashed. You can see the Rolls-Royce logo on there. And there's nothing today that's going to come anywhere close. 787, sure, it's a nice aircraft, but can we have this back, please? Let me get my view back a little bit. I know y'all hate it when I sit right up on top of the gauges. That's really how the game brought me in, and there's always chairs in the way, so I have to kind of move to optimize my viewing. There-ish. As long as I don't need those gauges, we'll be okay with that. Now, there are no flaps on the Concorde, but your flap buttons do work in this, and they work by dropping the nose. So first comes the the streamlining glass, and then drop the nose. There we go. And this was done so the pilot could actually see what he was doing. And then the nose goes up, of course, because, well, it's more aerodynamic. Alright, let's get this out of the way onto the other screen. Speedbird 102. Okay, we're going to climb and maintain 12,000. Oh, goodness. There it is. Now, when they took off with Afterburner to get off. And there are some absolutely amazing YouTube videos of there are some amazing YouTube videos of the Concorde taking off out of Heathrow or Kennedy or anything like that. It's just amazing, especially the night takeoffs with the Rolls-Royce engines under full afterburner. Trying to get the takeoff going here. And then after they got off the ground, they would cut the afterburners and just kind of lope along at normal speeds until they crossed over into the Atlantic. Then, well, then they could just light it up. We've got clearance. Are we ready? Thinking I need an afterburner light. We just hold the thing in position. There was a very specific way they actually had to run the afterburners. Here we go. You actually had to light the afterburners in a very specific fashion because of the way the aircraft functioned, the way otherwise it caused the aircraft to torsion. There's actually some really amazing documentation about how this aircraft flies. Look at that sorry person, that 747. Oh, look at that MD-80. Oh, poor people. They don't have a cool aircraft. Here we go. Let's see if we can get her off the deck. Those big stork-like legs up. We're going to go ahead and put our nose mostly up. We're not going to put our blast screen up though. Alright, I need to acknowledge my handoff. We're going to shut off our reheats. Nope, nope. Off. Turn that off. There. Alright. We're going to slow her down. We're already at 4,000 feet, blasting into the high altitude. Yeah, we blew right through our 250. 290. Okay, so we're gonna go 290. 290. Flight director on, acknowledge handoff. Autopilot master switch on. Now I gotta figure out how to turn all this stuff on. We're gonna hold one, yeah. Heading hold. Here. What's that? Altitude hold. Attitude hold, no. Altitude hold. Ah, max climb mode. There were some max cruise mode. Ah, heading hold. So can we? Are we turning? Is the aircraft handling it? Look at her. I mean, I talked about the way that the Beechcraft Starship just looked gorgeous aircraft. And really, the same is true here. In fact, we're going to go ahead and raise our screen. I mean, once she's in configuration, there's just not a more beautiful aircraft, I don't think. And could you imagine being able to fly from London to New York in 2.5 hours, up at 60,000 feet? I mean, that was altitude where, at the time, U-2 pilots would be wearing their oxygen masks. And they would be considered at the edge of space, but they're cruising along, and here comes a here comes a passenger jet just loping along at 60,000 feet. Left 260. There we go. Alright, we need to speed this bird up a little bit. Alright, heading up to 180. I want max climb. Are we climbing fast enough? No, we're not climbing fast enough. Climb faster. There we go. Alright, so now there's what's this? Mach hold switch. Okay. Airspeed indicator. We're at Mach 0.66 right now. Look at that. Rocketing up towards, we're not going up fast enough. I want to go up faster. So I'm not going to make you sit through the entire flight. Attitude. Let's do this. Come on up. Attitude hold. Thank you. So I'm not going to make you sit with me the whole time. I'm going to go ahead and cut. And what's this light? Ooh, turning around. acknowledge that. Are we not doing this anymore? Are you not turning for me anymore? Oh, because I need altitude hold instead of that. And how did I turn on the heading again? There. That's what I needed. Huh. Jeez. Alright. Oh, I was back here looking at these switches before I got distracted. What's this? Engine ignitions. Oh, those are the engine ignition for each. Here's my cross feed. Fuel transfer pumps. Look at all those gauges. We forgot to do our shifting. I'm so busy looking at this aircraft. And shift 1. Holy moly moly. Okay, shift 2 is... Look at that. All those... Okay. Oh, it's radio and throttle quadrant. Okay. Shift 3. There's my fuel loading. Shift 4 is my overhead. Wow. Is this all clickable? No. Of course it's not all clickable. What am I, crazy? Nope. Off. And off. Okay. Yeah. Shift 5. Okay. Shift 6 is a new radio stack. Shift 7 is... Oh, there's my GPS. Shift 8 is the end of the line. Alright, so here we are coming up to 15,000 feet. I wish I knew how to dial this thing up to climb faster, because I know she can do it. But we're loping at Mach 0.64 until we get over water, and then we'll light the reheats and shoot up to Mach 2.02. So we'll be back when we are over water and ready to launch up to high speed. So we are currently just over the Irish Sea, I believe it's called. Notice we're down near stall speed. We're climbing for 54,000 feet at Mach 0.9. I'm going to go ahead and light the reheat and jump us up a little bit. So I want to go to the outside view. Light the reheater. Look at that. Just rocketing along. Yeah. We are going at 2 times speed because, well, reasons of because. So now we're really loping along. Now we do have to do the Shannon Center. So the other problem I have is she doesn't want to keep her altitude where I told her to go. I told her to stay at 500 feet per minute, give or take. And she immediately went rocketing off to 2,000 feet a minute. But we're almost to our 54,000 feet. And then we'll be able to let her level off and run up to her Mach. And we're about to break the sound barrier right now. And boom. We've broken the sound barrier, according to our Mach gauges. And the GPS, I have this up just to watch. It was at 7.5 hours until I lit the reheater. It's been dropping pretty consistently. So, nice when we're at 54,000. We're able to give her the final kick in the rear and let her run on up to her desired speed. See, as soon as I hit that, it immediately tries a 1,500 feet per minute climb, and that is just not... Ah, there we go. 550. So we're just going to continue our climb up to 550. We're going to continue our speed increase. And and we are, of course, illegally crossing Irish territory at speed. They actually would have ducked south below Ireland to avoid putting the sound wave going over Ireland. It's really why the Concorde didn't take off as a viable long-term solution, because she couldn't fly over land. Now there are a bunch of engineers working to try to make hypersonic and supersonic flight possible over land. Alright, we're at 55. We are leveled off. Or as leveled off as this plane gets. And here comes our Mach speed rolling up towards our cruise speed of 2.02. The other fun thing, now we are at 2 times speed, but still, look at our ETA. It's just dropping down. We need to turn us slightly. There. We're at 1.14, 1.15. We're just blasting along. I think one of the best looking passenger aircraft ever constructed. We'll probably be back when we get close. Oh, good grief! Look at her roll. I'll probably come back when I get closer to New York City and see if I can actually land this aircraft. I'm thinking the answer is no, but we might as well try and see, right? So we'll be back as we get closer to New York City, or unless something interesting happens. I just figured I'd come back when we hit Mach 2, and we're just shave over Mach 2. Our indicated ground speed, according to the GPS, is 1,126 knots, and we have 2 hours and 9 minutes ETA into JFK. To have flown in this aircraft for real. It's been awesome. Just notice I'm slowly trekking out of my direction. Gotta fix that. So, be back when we start our approach into JFK. Well, we're descending through what would be normal traffic height, 32,500 feet, on our way down to, where am I going? 26,000, as we're talking to Boston Center. So quick flight. Again, bring the Concorde back, or give us something like this. I mean, it'd be so much better to go over to Europe, or come over to the United States, if you don't have to spend all day on a plane to get there. You just hop a plane, and 2.5, 3 hours later, you're on the other side. That would be perfect. But we're down below Mach 1. We just cleared over, I don't know if we can see it, right out of there. Oh, we're turning right. 250. Alright. Acknowledge that. And there we go. So Long Island isn't too far off. I'll go up. Still going down, please. Go. Go. So we're, Long Island is right, oh, there. So we're getting there. You can actually see the, airport should be right. It's coming in, I think it's that big blob right there in the corner window. What are we going for, 26,000? Yeah. Yeah, we're descending really fast because air traffic control in this game can't actually handle an aircraft this fast. So they told me to start descent after I was pretty much over Rhode Island, which would be perfect if I was only at 32,000 feet, but I was at 5,000 feet. It's a lot more feats. A lot more feats to descend. So actually, New York Center. Go ahead and drop that. Are we at 26 yet? No, we're almost there. And they'll tell me to descend here in a moment. Yep, 14,000. Kind of have to drop fast because I'm actually looking over at the GPS on the other screen, and I can actually see the ILS lines into JFK, and we're at 25,000. Throttle the engines back some more. We're really like loping along there. It's going to be one of those landings. I'm either going to make it really nice or it's going to be messy. And bits of the plane are going to be scattered all over the place. There's really no in the middle, I don't think, with this. Drop 10,000 feet. That'll be a good descent pattern. Descent. Yeah. I mean, could you imagine if this aircraft was upgraded to modern technology? And that really doesn't even begin to touch how busy that whole section is. I mean, when I looked in the cockpit, I just couldn't believe what the flight engineer had to do. And the cabin is actually very small in terms of height and all of that. But why do we have to fly things that are identical? I want something awesome. A 787 or a A380 or whatever, that doesn't count. I mean, those are nice aircraft, but okay, I want to get there fast. Bring out the next Concorde, the next Beechcraft Starship. Come on, let's go. 14,000, please. We're being vectored in this weird traffic pattern coming into JFK. Center. 975. Yeah, come on guys, get me down lower. Now that we're like 315. Or 5 now, huh? Yeah, I'm going to turn off that autopilot here in a moment because it is going to make it hard. Pretty well throttled all the way back. There we go. Good grief. 15,000. Alright. Alright, we've got our throttle all the way back. I'm going to turn off autopilot and flight director. Go. So we're on our own now. Which means we're gonna die. Turn left 310. Turn right. 010. Alright, I've got the engines throttled all the way back. Drop our nose a little bit. I'm going for 4R. Yeah, fly straight in. Okay. We can do that. Acknowledge that. I know I'm descending really fast, but they're ridiculous. Some of these these landing vectors they've given me. I should have been given a descent notice much earlier. I wasn't paying attention. I wrote it down myself. Okay. She does a very fast landing, I do know that much. Right. There's New York City, Brooklyn Bridge. Yeah. Alright, that's, where are we? 6,400, oh good grief. We can do this, right? Right? Yeah. Let's get that out of the way so we can sort of see what we're doing. $5,000. Okay. 4,000. Clear to land. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Here comes our gears. Alright, 4 right. There she is, 4 right. See what we can do about this. Okay, we're going to bring our engines up a bit. Just in case. Why do I have to go to the short runway? Alright, here we go. I'll try it. Okay, engines are up to a speed that I can bug out if I need to. I know.
Think rate.
I know. It's very fast. I realize that. We go. And caution, speedbird landing. Or crashing.
Too low. Flaps.
Too low flaps. I don't have any flaps.
Too low. Flaps. Too low. Flaps.
Too low flaps.
Too low. Flaps. Too low. Flaps. Too low. Flaps.
Oops. So we bounced it. Does she have reversed? She does. Thank goodness. Oh, we made it. We actually made it. Yes, we were yelled at by our little talking thing, but we landed. I didn't destroy a Concorde. I destroyed a C-130, but I didn't destroy a Concorde. Huh, you can never guess what's going to happen when I fly. Alright, so we're going to exit runway. We're not going to stick with me while I'm derping around and taxiing. I like this mod. I mean, you can get some very nice payware Concordes. This isn't as nice as those, but that's to be expected. I still think it's a nice mod. Gets you a Concorde that you can play around with, and see if you can manage to fly a Concorde. So, until next time, it's been DerTebbers, flying one of the prettiest planes ever produced, the Concorde. Ooh, there goes my screen graphics. Until next time, bye.